I see the name Alonzo Mourning with a lowercase m. We have to get that fixed, though. We have to get that fixed. You deserve a capital letter on your last name.
It's all good, man. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well. Long time no see. Long time no talk. I appreciate you doing this.
Nah, it's my pleasure, man. Yeah.
And you have appropriately. I don't know whether this is your awards den or what, but you have a majestic background there.
Well, I'm sitting in the office at the arena, man. I got a lot of stuff that has accumulated over the years, man. I got some of my treasured items in here.
Oh,
I got actually got between pictures with Bill Russell back there and John Thompson to you got Bill Clinton crossword puzzle.
wow.
He filled out and sent it to me. That's his stationery right there. He sent it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, he signed it. My name was in the New York Times crossword puzzle, so he was filling it out. And he folded it up. He ripped it out of the paper, folded it up, and sent it to me. So
wow,
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You have also, have you not played basketball with Obama?
And speaking of which, I got.
Oh, I love this. Oh wow, this is not. It's right.
Okay, I like it, Ebony. I like that.
Yeah, he said to Alonzo, "Thanks for the friendship." You know. So and then I got another picture of us up there in it's hanging on my wall. I got a picture of us after we had just finished playing basketball. It was pretty cool. So
oh man,
yeah.
So he got game or what?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's pretty actually. You know what? For the leader of the free world, you know, to he has a pretty nice jumper, man, and he's a southpaw, and
okay,
yeah, he's a pretty good athlete. Pretty good. I was impressed. I really was. I wasn't expecting that.
What's the saddest picture that you have in there? Like maybe you and Jason Capono or something?
I don't have it. Hey man, I try not to surround myself with sadness.
I'm just picturing in such an impressive. There's so many impressive photos in there. I wonder if there was one that was just like, how'd this one get in here?
Hey man, like I said, I try not to surround myself with sadness.
I'm telling you, Alonzo Mourning, we're so happy to have you. And have you ever noticed that whenever they say about somebody, this man needs no introduction, that's the one who deserves the most introduction. So I want to say, for those of you who don't know, Alonzo Mourning, Zoe, he's a Miami Heat legend, NBA champion, basketball Hall of Famer, and you remain to this day a Heat executive VP of player programs. You've had an interesting, difficult, challenging 2024, which we're going to get to. But first, Zoe, I want to mention that you're a champion of Miami off the court as well. I want to mention that 20 years ago, you founded the Overtown Youth Center, which continues to do great work. Now you have an involvement in the building of low-cost public housing in the area. I wonder, how do you find the time? And more important, why do you make the time for all of these things?
Well, Greg, you know, again, it's an honor to be on your show, man. You know, you've been a voice here in South Florida community, you know, and I respect that over the years, you know, reading your columns and everything, you know. So, you know, to answer your question, you know, I'm here because of the contributions of other people, you know, and I think about all of the lives that help contribute to mine, and I'd be doing them a disservice if I did not pay it forward, between coaches, teachers, mentors, you name it, you know, all these people in my life, you know, family members, my foster mom, I mean, the list goes on. So I'm grateful for those individuals, you know, they set the stage for me, you know, and I'm at a point in time in my life, you know, and understanding my journey, that there's a responsibility that comes with it, you know, and I have taken a lot of what they've implemented in me, and I've just tried my best to find time to make a difference in other people's lives, just like they made a difference in mine. You know, so you mentioned affordable housing. It's extremely important. I actually had a groundbreaking ceremony today with the mayor and and the county commissioners today. We're in Overtown. We're building another unit another 120 units, and you're trying to tackle these statistics here in South Florida as it pertains to the lack thereof of, like you said, low-cost housing. And it's unfortunate that a lot of these families that are born and raised here, they're being priced out of these neighborhoods, because the rents are being raised and what have you, and it's very, very unfortunate, so demographically, having the trust from the county and the work that we've done already, we've been able to do 10 projects in South Florida so far. Wow. Some for seniors, many single family homes, so outside of that, the work that we do with young people and providing educational opportunities for not just children, but for families, and providing holistic services across the board, because at-risk kids go home to at-risk situations, and doing what we could, to try to make a difference in the community, to give these kids an opportunity and tackle the statistics from that standpoint, as it pertains to graduation rates and first generation scholars and all of that, which we have 100% high school graduation rate, and 90% of our kids go to college and graduate. So you think about all these statistics, it's very time consuming. Then outside of that, I got my own children and my responsibilities with the Heat. I'm also invested in some IT companies, and I do a lot in health and wellness space as well, and helping men and helping people be a little bit more proactive with their health, because of my obstacles that I've had. So, yeah.
And yet you find time to be on the Greg Cote Show podcast. How fantastic is this? It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to try not to keep you too long, but first of all, I want to mention, because I remember this, I don't know how long ago it was, 22 years ago. You learned you had a very serious kidney ailment that led to a transplant, and it interrupted but did not end your NBA career. And because you were an active player and a very good one, naturally, that was publicly known. I mean, everybody knew that you had had a kidney transplant. What you went through earlier this year, you found out that you had a prostate issue that turned out to be prostate cancer. And look, I went through in 2017, I had a huge tumor in my chest. And I remember my wife and I sitting in the oncologist office waiting to hear whether that tumor was benign or cancerous. It was the most terrifying day of my life. I choke up talking about it now. I felt so helpless. And I wonder if you can just take us through your past year and mostly what led you to be open about this, because you could have been very private with a private health matter, but you decided to be open and generous and share. Why?
You know what? The reason why I decided to be open about it is because this was bigger than me. Once I understood the statistics, and one in 8 men will get prostate cancer. 1 in 8. Okay. And that's not even including the men that wait till it's too late, and then the cancer spreads throughout their body, and they're not proactive with getting checkups, and I'm gonna tell you, because I was asymptomatic, I could have easily ignored it. I had stage 3 cancer, man. Stage 3, it hadn't broken the capsule yet, but I found out through a routine physical. Next week I go get my end of the year physicals. And I'm grateful to have an opportunity to do that. But we have to change the narrative, Greg, as it pertains to men not getting checkups, because we can alleviate problems from escalating by catching them early, just by getting a regular checkup. Diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, heart disease. I mean, the list goes on, man. Guys not getting colonoscopies at all,
Right.
That's another silent killer, and I was me. And then getting your PSA check. Now you don't have to worry about the finger anymore. You can just get a blood test, So men breaking down the barriers of fear or trust or being embarrassed or whatever it is, these excuses they have for not going to the doctor until it's way too late. So, the long and short of it is that I felt like this was a great opportunity. This wasn't just about me. I didn't want to be selfish and just make this about me. This is about so many other men that I've had an opportunity to get feedback from men and tell me that, hey, man, bro, I found out I had prostate cancer and I went because of you and I caught it early. I've heard that from a handful of men already. I've gotten emails, I've got letters. I mean, it's been incredible. So I'm very grateful for having this platform that I've been given. But more importantly, I'm very blessed to have caught it early. And then after I had my surgery, by the grace of God, I had a very successful prostate surgery. They got all the cancer out. I'm coming December the 18th will be 9 months, and I'm looking forward to my next checkup and making sure that my PSA is 0, and that it hasn't come back. But, I made the adjustments in my lifestyle and, eating right and exercising. And, I cut out a lot of carbs and I've lost a lot of weight, and I feel great. I feel amazing, and I'm just encouraging men to do the same thing because it's worked for me. I'm very, I just felt like I'd use this opportunity to kind of make a difference from that perspective, So I was very, very fortunate from that perspective, as well as my transplant. December the 19th, I'll be celebrating 21 years post-transplant.
Oh, wow.
Okay, 21 years. And how I found out I had kidney disease was, again, from a routine physical, preseason physical. I found out I had kidney disease. So,
wow.
Yeah, so getting regular checkups, helping men understand the importance of it, that's what this was all about. By the grace of God, I'm able to use this platform. And today I can say I'm a healthy man and I feel great. I can use this platform to help others.
Yeah, and Zoe, you're the perfect spokesman because first, you're in your 50s now. You look fantastic. It looks like if Zoe called you up and said, hey, I need 12 minutes tonight against Oklahoma City. Can you help me out?
I give you 10.
Okay. There you go. But as a famous athlete who's willing to share all these struggles and triumphs, you're not some fat guy sitting on a couch. You're Alonzo Mourning. You were in the peak of form. You still look great. So if it can, if a kidney ailment and prostate cancer can happen to you, it can happen to anybody. And that's all the more reason for everybody.
Yes.
Checked.
And Greg, to your point, I'm gonna tell you, with all the statistics, kidney ailment, you think about 35% of all kidney failure cases account for African Americans. And you think about the 37 million Americans who suffer from chronic kidney disease. You think about these statistics, that's a lot of people, man. It's astronomical. It's not even including all the people on dialysis, that's waiting on organs. It's just absolutely amazing. But I'm going to tell you that you mentioned a point about how nervous you were when you were waiting for the oncologist to tell you whether or not it was, benign or malignant. I was the same way. I did I found out I had cancer. I got the call when I was shocked. I was shocked that I had it because I had no symptoms whatsoever. I felt great. And I was so shocked. And then the doctor told me, hey, you're not going to feel anything until it's too late. That's when you really start feeling anything. So I'm so glad I caught it there early. But the moment he told me I had to get a PET scan and to see if it had spread through my body, that was a devastating moment. That was deflating, Sure. So when I got that news, me and my fiance, man, we were sitting in this room after I did this PET scan, this 45-minute PET scan, waiting for the doctor to come in and tell us the results. I felt the way you felt. Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ, man, please don't come in here and tell me that this cancer has spread through my body.
Oh, my God.
And it had, and I was able to catch it early, which is why this has motivated me to try to help as many men as I could.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah.
it's a great thing you're doing. I really appreciate it. We
Thank
want to
you.
we want to get a little lighter here. We want to move
Yeah,
off serious stuff and
let's
get a
do it.
little lighter. Christopher was kidding me the other day because I was bragging to him a while ago that I
Right.
had once written something about you that I remembered to this day.
What's
And the only hint I
that?
want to give you is Jeff Van Gundy. And Christopher, why don't you ask him the question you were going to ask him? Because I'm
Well,
curious what he's going to say.
well, you brought up you're talking about something like this was a positive column. I want to know the opposite. I want to know the column where you were like, let's get Cote on the phone. Like, what's this guy talking about?
Well, listen, the Jeff Van Gundy situation, I blame all of that on Pat Riley. And the reason being is because he created two Frankensteins.
Yes.
He really did. He left New York. He created an amazing culture there. We ran all the same plays. He left and he came to Miami. He created the same culture there. And we were two mean and nasty teams, man. And we got after it. And I think we were a product of all of, between Pat's coaches, his disciples that he left there coaching, and Van Gundy and all of them. And I mean, that's why the games were so fierce and close. And there'll never, ever, ever be another rivalry.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it, because the game has changed now where it's not as physical as it was, but there'll never be another rivalry like that.
Yeah.
That was entertainment, basketball entertainment at its best. It really was.
Who's the Heat player over the years that has come in with like, I don't know if this guy is going to be a Heat culture guy, and by the end he's super Heat culture. Where
Right.
like where you saw the biggest leap, where at the beginning it was like culture shock, literally.
Wow. Well, I mean, the one that comes to mind is Bam.
Hmm.
Bam, he's embraced, all the qualities of Heat cultures that we've asked, and you see it on a daily basis, you see what he brings to the table, and I told Pat when he first came here, I told him, I said, hey, one day we'll be hanging his jersey in the Raptors. He kind of looked at me, and I called it.
Wow,
called it because I think about Bam's background, and I think about him, single mother, growing up in a trailer park, hungry, and I said, wow, we can work with this because I know what's going to happen, given the right tutelage. And he has responded tremendously year after year. He's gotten so much better for us, so he's embraced it. He really has. And
that's crazy. Bam really is like, he's Heat culture now.
Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah. What is it about? Because when I think of Heat culture, and I would have included Bam as the modern day version of that, but I think it started with you, and certainly UD is the linchpin of that. Is it something about the position? Is it something about being a big man, being an enforcer type, being defense first? What is it that defines Heat culture that is embodied in the three of you, in UD, yourself, and Bam?
I mean, Pat put it on a T-shirt, man. Toughest, meanest, nastiest, most professional, most disliked, hardest working team in the NBA. And that's what it is. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Yeah, most professional. Yeah, most disliked, toughest, meanest, nastiest, team in the league. And listen, we've got to get back to that. We really do. We got to get back to that. Develop some type of consistency. I mean, obviously, health plays a key role in our success. As a team, but the long and short of it is that that's what we hang our hat on. That's it. That's the expectation. It truly is.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Heat right now moving forward this season? Because it seems like a team that is, maybe barely makes the playoff, maybe barely misses the playoff. It's not a team that anybody's talking about for a championship. What's the state of the Heat moving forward?
Well, it's still early. Number one, it's still a lot of things that obviously that we want to get better at, and I trust that Spo and the coaching staff is going to get us to where we need to be from that perspective, And the guys know it. We still got this core guys that's been together now for 5 years,
Right.
So they know what they need to do, Health is going to play a tremendous factor as well, but we've already shown that we can beat anybody with talent because we have talent,
Right.
So, from a defensive and a rebounding perspective, and as Pat would always say, there's no rebounds, no rings. Those are the things that we have to hang our hats on. We really have to place a point of emphasis on that, between being one of the top 5 defensive teams in the league. Outside of that, we got to rebound the hell out of the ball. We really do. And if we do that, I think good things happen. We got enough scoring. Tyler is playing at a high click right now. And obviously, Jimmy and Bam, they're steady. But, we just got to turn up the volume defensively and rebounding the basketball and just cut down on our turnovers. If we do that, I think good things are going to happen.
I love watching Heat playoff games on TV, road games specifically, and they always cut to you and Riley. And I just love it. And I'm so jealous of you because I would pay to be that seat right next to you guys. Like, what is and your camera's on you. So do you guys have little elbow nudges? How do you what's the best part of watching games with Riley?
Hey, it's all winning conversation. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it's about. That's all he's about. Trying to figure out a way to get the next W. As he's always said, there's winning and there's misery. And we still feel the pain of losing. We still feel that misery. We really do. We feel it for the guys because we've lived it on the sideline together. Pat and I are joined at the hip. And I know how he thinks. I know what he expects. And the coaching staff does too. And I'm grateful to have an opportunity to pick his brain, to learn from him. It's been a tremendous honor to have benefited from the tutelage of one of the best that ever do it. He's been either. I think there was a statistic that came out that he's accounted for.
Yeah, I saw this, I think.
Quarter, 25% of NBA finals.
Yeah. In some connection. As a
player and as a GM and as a coach. He's crazy. Accounted for about 25% of NBA in the history of the league. Think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then when I said something to him about it, he said, the only thing that means is that I'm old. That's all that
means. I never see you guys snacking during the games, munching on popcorn or anything. How do you guys do it? During quarters, halftime? Are we snacking?
That's done at halftime.
Okay.
Hey, you never know when the camera's gonna be on you, man.
Is there a different thing?
You can't be sitting there eating popcorn during the game.
Is the halftime snack determined on how the game's going, or no matter how the game's going, we're doing the same snack?
I don't. Hey, man, depends on if you're hungry or not.
Riley as well as anybody does, I think.
Okay.
And when off camera now, when the cameras are not on, and you and Riley are together.
Right.
How do you know he's super happy and relaxed? Because I'm picturing a relaxed, happy Pat Riley with a bottle of red wine, singing a Sinatra song. What is a happy Pat Riley like?
You know what? The happiest I've seen him is when when we won it all. So that's a pretty incredible moment. It really is, because that's what he's about, man. He's about winning championships, nothing more, nothing less than that. And that's why he's still sticking around, because he feels like that this organization still has the capabilities of getting there and winning it, I think about, the finals against Denver. We weren't completely healthy, and a completely healthy team, I think it's a different finals, I mean, you have to, against a team like Denver during that time, you got to have everybody at full strength,
Right.
And Denver was at full strength. They really were, but I think, it's quite elementary. It truly is when you think about, the history of this organization and why it was built the way it was built. It was built to win championships, and this is no different.
All right, we're going to get you out of here on a little rapid fire teammate edition. Strongest teammate you ever had?
Strongest teammate?
Physically strongest.
Me.
I know. That's no. There you go. I didn't want to imply like that teammate. That's why I said
nobody was stronger than me on the team, and when I played, I couldn't think of anybody stronger than me. Other than Shaq, when we were teammates, we were both very strong.
Yeah, I didn't mean that like you weren't the strongest. I just meant like I should have actually. That's actually a bad question. I meant it more like guy in the league. That not that he's stronger than you, but like when you went against this guy, it's like you knew. That I should I that's actually how I meant that when I wrote strongest.
Let me tell you what, guys, I can throw a bunch of guys in there that I played against. Terry Cummings, Greg Kite, Anthony Mason, Buck Williams, Charles Oakley. I mean, these guys were like extremely strong. Yeah, extremely.
Smartest teammate?
Smartest. Wow. From a basketball IQ perspective?
Yeah.
Muggsy Bogues.
Really?
Okay.
I mean, for him to be that size and stature and have the impact on the game that he had, it was pretty amazing to watch. Wow. It really was. He had an incredible basketball IQ. He really did.
Last one. Now, I always hear Udonis on his podcast talk about Mario Chalmers. Even though he didn't put up the numbers, he's like the most confident teammate he ever had. Like he thinks he's the best player in the gym, even though the numbers might not do that. Like who's the teammate you had that like even though they maybe didn't put up the numbers, but they were just like their confidence, they thought they were the best player on the planet?
Oh, wow. That's a great question, man. I'm trying to think who that could be. Yeah, usually the most confident guys I knew. And
was Chalmers that? Was Chalmers that?
You could say that. He was one of those guys, I mean, just think about that big shot he hit in Kansas.
In the clutch, he did it. Clutch, even in finals games, like he's like. He
wasn't a teammate of mine, but watching him as an executive.
Yeah.
Yes, he was never afraid of the moment, and putting him on the court with those three Hall of Famers made his game so much easier. It really did. Yeah.
Alonzo, we're going to let you go. Super appreciative of you being here. What a wonderful basketball career you had. What a wonderful career you're having in the front office. And guaranteed you're saving lives with your openness and advocacy for prostate cancer research and screening and awareness. Thank you for that, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Greg. Stay healthy, my brother. All right. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Zoe. It was awesome. Bye.